Hello and welcome back to another video. So in this video we're going to do some data analytics, some data predictions, but before we can do any of that we need to do some data cleaning. So I've got the CSV or the sheet or the data we're going to be working with. Just close that one. It's quite a lot. It's COVID data, so it goes from right back from the 24th of February 2020 all the way down to the 9th of June 2021, and obviously there are other versions of this that have probably been more up to date because we are on the 15th of June, but when I downloaded all of this, this was what we've got. Now this is world, so it covers everything. So we've got Africa, we've pretty much got every country, Oceania, Uruguay, we've got Europe, we've got UK's in there somewhere, and we are going to just focus on UK, so I'm going to show you how to do that easily with Python. So I've cleaned up the data in Anaconda, and the reason for that is because it's more comfortable for me to use that, but you can do the exact same thing in Collab. So let's have a look at cleaning up the data. So first thing we needed to do is we actually needed to import the file into Collab, well, into wherever, Collab. In Collab it's slightly different. To import your file into Collab you do it very slightly different, so let me just show you how you would do that. You would do this to import it. So you would import pandas and you would do from google.colab import files, upload files, and you would literally choose files and then find the data that you want to use, and then it will upload and let you use it. So once we've done that, we run it. There we go, and it shows us our data. Now it looks really weird, and the reason for that is because even though we're viewing it in a data frame, we're not completely viewing it in a data frame, if that makes sense. So we're just going to kind of leave that bit. That just shows you everything, and it says that you've got all these rows and you've got 60 columns. I don't think I'm going to do, I'll do it anyway, but I'll show you what profiling is. So if I run this, profiling basically allows you to analyze your data and it produces statistics, but it does take a while to do. So I'm not going to do it, but that is the code for it. It produces statistics and helps you to identify any missing or duplicate values, but we can do it using Python, which is a lot easier. So I'm going to choose my data types that are objects, so I'm just going to run that, and it will identify the things that are numerical and not numerical. So here we've got this as an object, so it's not numerical, object. Then we've got all these that are false, which means they are numerical. Now I want to separate all my numerical values from my categorical variables so that I can see the difference between them. So if I run this code, we are basically saying that all of these headings for our tables, they are not objects, okay? They are something else. And all of these are objects. So we've split our tables into two. Now I want to find any missing values, and this is the fun bit. Okay, this is actually the fun bit. I want to find if there are any missing values in any of my columns, because if they're over a certain percentage, we don't need them. They're not going to provide anything for us. There are ways of finding out, so we could use K means nearest neighbour, which basically works out the mean or the nearest neighbour and works out what the missing value could be. There are loads and loads of ways of dealing with missing values, but for this case we're not going to deal with them. So I'm just going to run it, and it will show you, and I've done it in ascending order, so it starts off with the most missing and goes down to the least. Every single one has a missing value of some sort, but these numbers are kind of meaningless unless we turn them into percentages, so we can see how much percentage of that column is missing, or that row. So the way we do that is here. So we're going to basically divide everything by the length of the data frame so we can work out the percentages. So this has got 99.0, we'll just go with 99% of missing data, all the way down to here, which has got 0.0065, which is something like 6.5%. So there's quite a bit missing, and that's okay. And the reason for that is because we didn't actually start calling things COVID until March. So a lot of this data pre-March in 2020 will actually be missing, and also because people didn't think about recording stuff because it wasn't a pandemic back then. Like I say, back then, it's like literally like a year ago. It wasn't a pandemic, so they didn't take it as seriously. And hindsight is a beautiful thing. but you can see why we've got quite a lot missing. And obviously vaccinations and stuff, they are pretty new, so things like missing data in vaccinations will mean that it was before the vaccinations begun. And then there's things in here that we don't necessarily really need to worry about. So like, it is interesting, but to find out patterns and things about people's health, but in terms of what we're looking for at the moment, we're looking for predictions to see if there's going to be a third wave. So we're looking at things like people who've been vaccinated, because obviously vaccinations have a massive effect on the outcome. But we don't need to worry about things like, where we're looking, male smokers or female smokers, because even though it would be beneficial to kind of go down that route and see if there's anything that contributes to getting COVID, but again, it kind of doesn't really make a difference for us. Obviously you can mess around with this data as much as you want, and basically do whatever you need to do to try and have some fun with it, but that's basically the missing values. So this is where we're going to drop some data. So there's some columns in here which we don't need, and that's because we're not going to be focusing on them. So we drop them. So we literally put df, which is data frame, which is what this is. This is a data frame. Where is it now? Up here. This is a data frame. So we go df.drop data frame. So we've literally converted our Excel spreadsheet into a data frame, and we're going to drop all of these. Now we're going to drop them in place, and we're going to drop them on axis 1, which means it doesn't affect any of the other data. Now you don't have to drop all of these. If you want to look at it from another point of view, like you want to look at whether life expectancy or smoking has an effect on COVID, then even like COVID cases in relation to COVID deaths, then don't drop some of these stuff, but you can always delete them and mess around with them. So I'm going to run that, and it will drop everything that we don't need. So anything that's got NEN means it's a missing value. Now, we've dealt with quite a lot of this stuff. So total deaths, if we just look for total deaths on here, there, we've actually only got 13.7% of data missing compared to reproduction rate. Where's reproduction rate? Could take a while. There we go, which has got 19.5. Now the reason we've got some of these stuff, or kept some of these stuff, is because the ISO code is an easy way to search for things. It basically says where they are, but like it doesn't. It'll say Europe for Great Britain, but we're not necessarily in Europe. So if we search for the whole of Europe, that's like the continent. Whereas we actually want to find the actual country, so we don't need to deal too much with that. Location, obviously, again, this is where we're looking for. Date, again, we need date. Total cases is where we start looking at where the waves happen. Total deaths, again, can be useful. New deaths, you could drop it if you wanted, but it's basically new deaths after the vaccine. Reproduction rate is massive, and the reason we're using reproduction rate is because we can identify the actual waves that are going to happen. And technically COVID affects older people, but the new variants are tending to affect newer people, younger people even, so reproduction rate would be important. Total tests, again, it's just saying how many tests has been done, how many positives, population density, so what's the population per area in each of the countries, median age of people testing, or of that country, and then anybody over the age of 65 and 70 who have got COVID or died of it. How many have got cardiovascular? And the reason why we've kept that in is because a lot of people who had COVID and died in the initial stages of the pandemic were seen to have cardiovascular disease. So anybody with heart disease or anything like that is actually like a pointer. It's going to make things worse for them. Diabetes, again, can have a massive effect on things. It's all these people that were vulnerable. Female smokers, male smokers, again. Life expectancy, about what the age is of each in that country. So we've kept all those in. I'm just going to print the DF like we could see it before, so you can pretty much see it just as we've seen it. And then we're going to save it, okay, and we're going to save this new data as a new CSV file so we can play with it. So if I run that, hang on, what's it said? Permission denied. Oh, I know why, because I've already got one. Let me, I already have it in here. Let me just rename that. Oh, it's open. Hang on. I don't want to save that. Try again. There we go. Try again. Give it a second. There we go. We've stopped. And then if I open it up again, you'll see that I've got clean data and clean data 1. So I'm just going to remove clean data 1 because that's the one I originally had, and then I've got clean data. Now, if you are going to be using Collab, this is where you would start using Collab. So we're going to move over. I'm going to just, can I restart and let's just do that. So we're going to import our CSV in. So I'm going to run this and I'm going to show you how to import it. So what it's doing is it's asking me to choose files. So I'm going to go choose files. I'm going to find my clean data and I'm going to click open, and then it is going to actually open everything. Just give it a second. It does take a little bit of time, so I am going to just pause the video while it does load. And once it's done, we get told what it's been named. Now we uploaded clean data. Now because I've already got one of these already uploaded, it's renamed it automatically for me. So I'm just going to copy that and put that into here, just because it will let it run. So I'm going to run this now, and basically we need to import CSV so that we can read it. So it's another library on Python. It's going to let us read it. It doesn't show anything. It's because we've not asked it to show anything. We've just asked it to be there. Then I'm going to load the CSV into Python, into pandas, and I'm going to ask it to display it. So here we go. It has missed off quite a bit. These dots here mean that it's condensed it down. Doesn't mean the data's missing. It means that the data is there, but it just needed to do ... so that you can just explain it and leave it there. So basically we've got our headings, all of them will be there, and we've got all our rows, and it shows you the first 5 and the last 5, and it shows you the first 2, well 3 and the last 3. So now I want to narrow this down further, because I don't really, I know it sounds really like weird, but I don't really care about the rest of the world. All I'm concerned about is where I live, and that's because I'm not really going anywhere. I don't need to travel anywhere. I just want to work and focus on UK. So here we're saying that we're going to set a variable called index locations, and we're going to ask that to focus on the location title, the location header that is in the data frame, and it's going to remove anything that is not equal to the United Kingdom. Okay, and then it's going to delete all of those rows and drop them. Now it's not going to alter the CSV, so it's not going to alter the Excel spreadsheet that we've uploaded, and the reason for that is because we've not saved it to a spreadsheet yet. It's only going to update and edit the data frame. So we're going to run that, and then we're going to print the data frame so we can see it, and you can see here that we've got the ISO code, which is Great Britain, so we know we're just focusing on Great Britain. Now the last thing is we're going to start visualizing. Now this is actually quite difficult, and there's a reason I'm going to let you have a go at this yourself, and that's because there are thousands of graphs you can do. You can use Matplotlib or you can use Seaborn. I always use Matplotlib. I think it's a comfort thing, to be honest, but you can have a go at either. There are tutorials which I will link below that you can actually have a go at and start playing with. It does take a while, like a long while. So I'm going to run this because I'm going to make my graph. So all I'm saying is import Matplotlib, which is another library, and I'm going to name it as PLT so that I don't have to actually write matplotlib.pyplot every single time. And then I'm going to import figure, and this means I can edit the figure size. So I'm saying that you're going to use the PDCSV clean data, which probably could be a mistake there. Let me just try cancelling that out. I shouldn't have done that. I think it's controlling that. Yeah, let me just cancel that out a second. Right, so we're going to group by date, and we're going to group by total cases. Now the reason we're grouping by date is because we don't actually need to group by location anymore, because we're just working with Great Britain. I'm going to rotate my bottom rotations so they are 90 degrees, so that they go vertical instead of horizontal, because there is quite a lot of data, and I will save it as sample.jpg, but for now let's just run it and see what happens. It does take a while, it takes forever, to be fair. I'll just pause this and I'll tell you how long it takes. Okay, that took like 10 minutes. So it's created a graph. What I've done is I've grouped by location, and I've done total cases, and I've done total deaths. So total cases is in blue and total deaths is in orange. So we are doing by the UK. All these little things down here say the UK. Now, making graphs in Python is actually one of the hardest things you will do. So I'm going to kind of leave you to have a go at doing that stuff. I'll link some tutorials below so you can have a look at creating them. I'll do some Seaborn and I'll do some Matplotlib. It's up to you what you use. They are quite trial and error kind of things, and they are not as easy as creating in Excel spreadsheets. There are loads of things we can do. We can change the figure size so that it becomes bigger, so we can have like 100 by 100 height and width. We can change the rotation so that they actually go horizontal or vertical. We can actually change the graph, so we can choose a scatter. I don't know, let's try see if a line graph will work. Again, this could take a while. I'll pause it for a second. Oh, it's done it. There we go. So again, it's showing that the actual cases are quite high, and it shows the number of deaths but by the number of cases. So the good thing is we're kind of not losing as many people, but we are increasing slowly. So have a mess around with that, see what you can do. There's also something called a scatter graph. I don't know if a scatter graph will work though. It might throw an error, yeah, because it's it requires an X and Y, but a line graph is quite fun. Didn't mean to do that. And you can also do a box graph or a box plot. I think that's how you do it. I've never actually used a box plot. I thought I'd throw up errors. Just try box. Yeah, that'll work. Just give it a second. There we go. So this is showing the number of cases versus the total deaths, and it's actually got like the median. That's like the most common is that line. So yeah, so have a mess with that, and then in the next video we'll have a look at doing the predictions. This is all about data. I will include a couple of I'll give you a couple of links and stuff as well so you can have a look at it. But that's it. This is all about cleaning data, so I'll see you in the next one.